Hello, everyone, and welcome to the PR Connections Show at prconnectionsradio.com, the voice of new media. My name is Guy Dawson, and I am your host. And today's show is going to be centered around a couple of good friends of mine, Tim Haskins and Taryll Big Tex Robinson. They are the defenders of finance. These are two top-notch financial guys. They're going to talk about the things that they are doing within the financial world in their own individual businesses. And they're also going to talk about an exciting concept that we are launching together, a show that is going to be broadcast terrestrially and online all over the world. It's called the Defenders Finance Show. So welcome to PR Connections, fellas.
Hey, thank you for having us, Guy. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Guy.
And I had mentioned the fact that you're both financial service guys. And so how about we start with you, Tim? What is your contribution to the financial services world?
My contribution is I am a loan officer. I've been doing home loans for just about 20 years. So I bring 20 years of experience of helping people get loans to purchase homes. My company is licensed in all 50 states, so we can do loans nationwide. And I look forward to bringing a coaching aspect to doing home loans, to coaching people to realize their dreams of home ownership.
And I'm sure, Tim, when people don't really think very much about a loan officer generally until they decide they want to make a new home purchase or they're thinking about doing a refinance. But the services and the mindset that you have, the coaching and the teaching, I know through this time that we've been spending in the development of this concept that we're working on, it's not necessarily just when you need a home loan or when you need a refinance would be an important time to connect with someone like you, right, Tim? What are some other times when the services that you provide as a loan officer could be very helpful for a person?
Well, as you just stated, the time to talk to a loan officer is not when you decide to buy a home. You want to talk to a loan officer to make sure that you put a foundation together so that when you are ready to purchase or refinance, you're ready to go. Especially if you're self-employed. There's a 2-year process of tax returns, how you file your taxes that lead up into home loan qualification. So you want to talk to a loan officer just to put yourself in the right position. And that's where the coaching aspect comes in. You want to know how to file your taxes. If you have rental properties, you need to know how to put those on your tax return so it's advantageous to you tax wise and to get home loan qualified. You also want to look at the aspects of your credit report. What do you need to do? Are there mistakes there that need to be addressed? Is it wise to use strategies to pay down revolving debt, move revolving debt into installment debt to boost your credit score? Higher the credit score, the easier the qualification, the better the interest rate. You also want to know about taking time off of work. If you take time off work, gaps in employment. There's so much more that goes into this that the best thing to do is get in contact with me as soon as possible, and then lay your foundation so whenever the right opportunity comes up, you're ready to go.
Really making the most of your finances and setting yourself up to be successful in your endeavors that are related to money. It really is a team sport, isn't it, Tim? I mean, I think a lot of people miss that aspect, the importance of having the right kind of team around you in order to, the game of finances, boy, there's a lot to that. And just like any other sport that you're in, and I know this whole concept so much revolves around a team. And is that something that a lot of people miss? Is the importance of having the right kind of team around you to guide you so that you can make healthy financial decisions?
Absolutely, absolutely. Buying a home is very emotional. You see the big pretty house, uh, the advertisement is great out there, and you get pulled in to that aspect of it, and you may or may not be ready to purchase. And especially, if you're looking at the new home builders. They want to pull you in, and then they want you to use their team. Well, look at what you're doing. You're buying their product, you're using their representative in their financing. Well, they hold all the cards. You don't have anybody that's defending your finances, and that's why it's important for you to contact the defenders of finance. We're here to defend your position and represent you. So you want to have the right team. Real estate agent, we can set you up with as well. We have many real estate agents on our team that's going to fight for you when you go in to get your contract on your home. They negotiate for you and look out for your best interests. So it's very important that you have the right team. There's more than one way to get to New York from California. I tell people all the time, you can catch a plane, you can catch a train, you can drive. So if you get on one person's plan and then you switch to another person's plan, it gets a little confusing and jumbled. So you want to pick a good team and stick with that team, follow it through.
And Big Tex Robinson, you also are in the financial services world. Will you share with everyone how you can contribute to the success of developing a person's financial success?
Absolutely. And thank you again, Guy, for having me on. Taryll, Big Tex Robinson, and owner of TDR Financial. And what we do, how we're going to contribute is we're going to help people understand the different types of on how their money works. For number one, from starters, for retirement planning, having the proper life insurance, estate planning, etc. So we're going to be able to do all those things because right now, the way the economy is heading, inflation at 6.2%, and people aren't getting raises on their jobs. And then there's people that are walking off their jobs, but they don't know what to do. So one of the things that they're going to end up doing is they're going to go and tap into their retirement plan as their safety net. But what they don't understand is they're going to have to pay taxes on it if they're not 59 and a half. And then next year, the following year, they're going to get a 1099 for taking out those monies. So where Tim and I come in is we're gonna team up and we're gonna educate them and put a plan together. And not on a plan, we're gonna have a playbook for them, the right way to be able to go and purchase a home. And that before you purchase that home, making sure that they don't go out and apply for a vehicle. Because again, we already know that's gonna be a flag on the plate. So we're going to show them exactly what to do in regards to building up their emergency fund, making sure, because COVID has showed us that normally when we sit down and talk with clients, we want them to have at least 3 to 6 months of emergency fund. COVID has showed us you need at least a year set aside now. So, and I'm not talking about in your 401k. That's not your emergency fund. That's for later on down the road retirement. We're talking about actual savings that you have set aside for emergency, or for your down payment on a new house, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to sit down and show them the proper way, what to do from a young age on how to plan for college, when they get out of college and they're just getting their career started, they don't have money set aside. What's the proper next thing to do? Well, you got student loans, you just bought a new house, but you don't have money set aside. Well, the next best thing, let's look at the proper life insurance. What happens to you if something happens to you now? We can still be able to eliminate all this debt and your family won't be held with the burden. And then the next stage is going into, hey, how do we now start protecting your financial blind side? Meaning that how can we put you in a position to where you can win? Because there's ways of winning in finance, and there's a way to protect your downside protection too as well. And that's where Tim and I are going to come in, and we're going to be able to give this out to the community. And the most important part that I have to say, the information that you're going to be getting from both of us, I mean, it's going to be some powerful information. But the difference maker is going to be the person that implements the information. If you don't implement the information, it does no good. And that's why I tell people knowledge is not powerful. It's only powerful once it becomes implemented. Once it becomes implemented, then you got a whole new ball of wax. And so I'm looking forward to the new podcast. We got the website up. I'm looking forward to teaming up and we got, like you said, we got multiple realtors that's going to be able to come in and help us out in regards to helping these young individuals and couples and business owners too as well. We also we also have a partner where we're going to help people with their credit. We're going to help people build their credit so they can get properly vetted out by the lender, the coach, so you can get them qualified. And then for those that are business owners, we're going to help them get credit so they can purchase business real estate under their business name. So there's quite a few things that we're going to be working on, but the most important part is making sure that we're getting the community heading into the right track as it pertains to their money and as it pertains to their real estate purchases or refinances, because we all know real estate is the oldest form of wealth in this country. Well, anywhere, real estate. But how do we tie this? How do we tie the liquid cash to all this? And what do we do with that? How are we responsible with that? So we have so many facets that are going to come. And that's why we got a playbook. And it's going to be phenomenal, man. Y'all better look out. Y'all better look out, world. It's coming.
One of the things that I really appreciate, Big Tex, because I've heard some of your talks about finances, and I mean the information is outstanding. But what I really appreciate about hearing the way that you break down finances is the way that you simplify it. And I think that in the financial world, what you find a lot is there's so much confusion out there. And
Right.
it affects the way that people make choices, is because sometimes they're just so confused because there's information coming at them from everywhere. And I really have appreciated listening to the way that you break it down, just like a coach has to break down a play, right? In order
Right.
for a football player to go out there and execute correctly. You were talking about the execution side of it, which is that's the ultimate thing that you have to do. But you have to understand what you're doing. And one of the things that I have really appreciated, as I mentioned before, is the way that you break the play down so that it makes it easier for that person that you're working with potentially to be able to go out there and execute because they understand what they're doing.
Correct. And you know what? One thing that I learned a long time ago, I would say about 20 years ago, I had a teacher in college. They told me to match and mirror. So basically, know your audience. So if you're talking with someone that, if we're talking finance or real estate, some people, it can be over their head. They don't know what that means. So we, match and mirror, break it down to what they do understand. So, like I said, so when by me saying, you're getting qualified for a home. And now, if you go and try to apply for a vehicle before you get that home, that is a flag on the plate. Most people gonna know that means that's a no-no. Uh-oh, I messed up. So by doing that, now it sinks in. And look, we have to make uh savings, investing. We got to make it fun. We make it fun, buying a house, refinancing a house. We make it fun because, again, simplifying it. And, Tim and I were on the radio yesterday and we were talking about doing a cash out refinance. Some people are talking about, well, I have a 3% interest rate. And the point that he made, yeah, you got a 3% interest rate on your house, but you're paying 19% on $15,000 worth of credit cards. And it's revolving, meaning it never ends. So a lot of people don't understand that part. They just say, hey, my credit card payment is only $50 a month, but yet it never ends. So let's transfer that into an installment loan. Let's raise your credit. By raising your credit, that puts you in the driver's seat. You now have leverage to say, I don't want that rate. I want a better rate because you have credit score and you've done so well. And then also we're going to eliminate your other expenses. So yeah, your interest rate may have went up a little bit on your mortgage. Your payment may have went up a little bit, but guess what? Look at you saving $1,000 a month back in your pocket. Now you just gave yourself a pay raise of $12,000 a year. So you got to look at the big picture. And that's what we're about, big picture.
Yes, and you both have elements in what you do in the financial service world that I think are just going to be extremely helpful, already are helpful to a lot of people. But of course, with this Defenders of Finance show that we're bringing to the world, I think we're going to really step the game up. Tim, could you give us an overview of what the Defenders of Finance show is going to be all about?
Absolutely. Yeah. The Defenders of Finance show is going to bring finance in a way like Big Tech says. It's fun. It's going to be informational. It's going to be brought down to a level where Anybody can understand it. And we're going to talk about defending your finances, getting you set up. And what Big Texas programs do, they do estate planning to protect your family. They set you up for emergency fund. So if you have money that you need in in the case of an emergency, it's going to teach you how to leverage products to gain interest much more than you would in a bank account, so that your money starts to work for you. It's going to teach you how to use the power of real estate to create wealth through equity in real estate. It's going to teach you real estate investing, how you make money while you sleep because you own several pieces of property and money just comes in every month. It's going to teach you every aspect of finance, and it's going to be a fun sports-based show where we'll have sports analogies where a lot of people who are into sports will understand it. Most people love the sports entertainment, so it's going to be entertaining and it's going to be educational, and we look forward to bringing that to you.
And Tex, I know you're a big sports fan. How are the two of you going to weave the concepts of sports into these podcasts and these interview shows in order to get across the education that I know you want to give people about finances?
Well, the big thing, Tim and I we've built up a dynamic because we've been on the radio before a few times. So we've already built up the chemistry and the dynamic. And plus, with us sitting down and doing our research before we go on. So a lot of it's going to be off the dome, but some of it's going to be playing too as well, because we still want to make it professional. But most importantly is knowing the right elements, matching the mirror, knowing the right elements, what's going on in the economy right now. Right now, real estate is hot right now, so we might need to drive that home for a second, because a lot of people don't understand that. And most people, they get up, they look at the news, and they're looking at stuff, the politics and this and that. Tim and I are studying two different other animals. He's studying real estate, I'm studying money. So therefore, we're going to be able to drive that home for them to make it simplified to understand, hey guys, even though gas prices are going up, what does this mean to you? Or interest rates are about to raise, what does this mean to you? This means you need to purchase now. So we're going to be able to drive those home. And then, like you said, have a sports analogy so people will be able to understand. Most people understand some type of football analogy. If you're offsides or false start or out of bounds, they're going to understand that. By understanding those cues, they're going to know, okay, that means not to do that, or I was wrong for doing that, or wrong for thinking that. And then, of course, touchdown, first down, so you know that you did something great. So by us intertwining that and us doing our research and putting that together, we're going to be able to bounce back and forth off each other. And it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a lot of exciting. It's going to be a lot of high energy. But most importantly is driving the message home, because our job is to service the community, service this country, and let's get back to basics. Tim's gonna show them how fun it is to be a homeowner. I'm gonna show them how fun it is to be able to save and then invest. And then how we bring that together, how both of those come together. So now that you own a home, now did you protect that home as we protected your finances? Now your finances are protected. Did you protect that home? So if you or the spouse pass away, will that home be taken care of? Do your family have to shoulder the burden? So we both have been through those, knowing that what it could be like, because people don't understand when times get rough and you have a loved one pass away or go through something and there was nothing in place. Probate is really, really tough. And especially in Nevada, you're talking 2 years. Texas, 2 years before a family even gets access to anything. So that's very important, especially in our community, because we're last on net worth, we're last on income, we're last on retirement. When we retire, we have one income stream. The other cultures have minimum 3 to 6. So we have to drive that home too. And it's all a mindset. It's all a mindset. If we just mindset, and now they see two professional brothers that's we practice what we preach. Therefore, now they know they can do it too as well.
Yeah, I want to add this as well. One of the most, my favorite segments of the show is going to be testimonials.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times, we get on and we talk about what we do, but I want to show what we do. I want to show how we impact lives. So we're going to have testimonial segment where we bring on people that we've helped, and you hear it directly from them, so that you know what we're doing for the community and across the country.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be a favorite segment of mine, is to bring on past clients and testimonials, and also other industry professionals. It's Big Tex and I. We're not selfish. We're not full of pride. It's not all about us. We can't help everybody out there, So we're going to have other professionals on the show to share what they have, their wisdom, their knowledge as well.
Absolutely.
And I think that the kind of show that you guys are designing right now is going to be effective for, and already is, because you're already doing some broadcasting together. But I think it's going to work well for people who really need to learn the basics of finance, but also for people out there who are experienced, maybe already have investments, and they just want to refine their knowledge when it comes to financial services. Kind of like in sports, where Tom Brady, there's things that he's doing as a quarterback that any quarterback could do. But there's also nuances in the things that he's doing that has allowed him to win as many championships as he's been able to win. LeBron James, same thing in basketball, right? There's little subtle things that make someone a champion. And when I hear you guys talk about finances, I feel like both of you are very committed to setting people up to become champions when it comes to finance. And I think the whole approach that you have, using the sports analogies, but also the little subtle things that can make a big difference in how much money you have at the end. Like I know you were talking about asset protection a second ago, Big Tex. These are subtle things like having a living trust in place to make sure that you don't have to go to probate and that your loved ones don't lose a lot of money through that process. Right. You guys, I think, are going to give a lot of great information from the nuances of finance, the little things that can make a big difference in how much money you're able to accumulate in your financial life, and also how much you're able to leave to the people that you want to leave it to. And I don't think there's a lot of people out there that want to leave money to the court system.
Right.
Or any more money to the IRS than they have to, right? I mean, that's just the reality.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's past time that someone do this. You do have a lot of people that are doing certain things, but they have these hidden agendas. Because I see them on YouTube. I see them, oh man, buy my book or buy this or buy that. It's like, man, are you really in it for the community, or are you trying to sell some more books? And I understand you got to get paid, but man, there's also a way of doing it. You know who's doing it for the people, and you know who's doing it for themselves. So we decide, hey, you know what? We're going to put it out there for the people, because look, owning a home or having your finances in order, man, it's fun, man. I'm telling you. And Tim can tell you, I mean, look, to be able to get up and like he's gone to California, I bet Tim's probably gone to California 20 times in the last 2 days, But I'm just, being able to do that, that's exciting place to be. Hey, he's no actor. He's no football player, no basketball player, no celebrity. So to be able to put himself and his family in the position to do that, other people can do it too. And the same thing. So like when we travel, hey, I'm gonna go to Texas for a couple of weeks, and then I'm tired of being in Texas. I'm gonna go back home, or I'm gonna go to Florida. But that's not a bragging or boasting. That's just we've positioned ourselves to do that. And it's just little things. I still, to this day, pay myself $10 every Friday for a month. Then I give myself a pay raise, pay myself $15 every Friday for a month. Then I give myself a pay raise and pay myself $20 every Friday for a month. Then that $180 I invested, and then I started over again. I've been doing that for the last almost 3 years now. And so that portfolio has just compounded. So little things like that. I wasn't saying $100 a month or $100 a week or $200. $10. $10. Then I gave myself pay raise $15. So think about that. You pay yourself $10, then you give yourself a pay raise of $5. Man, you kind of feel a little good about yourself. Man, I gave myself a pay raise, right? It's not a lot of money, but it's about the discipline of what we're going to be implementing. What we're going to be teaching you is about being disciplined. Your first house, look, I don't know about 10, but my first property was a condo, man. I bought it for $101,000. My mortgage payment was $591 a month. So I put a roommate in and I charged them $600 a month. So he paid my mortgage, and then I sold it 2 years later and made about $96,000 off of it profit wise. Then I went to the second property, so it wasn't you don't have to you don't have to be your dream home, your first property. You can get you a little condo or a townhouse at the shoot if you have to, and allow the equity. So it's simple things like that. Much as you look, at that time, I just moved to Vegas. I was making $50,000 a year. And so what I did was I allowed the equity from that condo to be my down payment for the next property. I didn't have to come up with $50,000 or $100,000 for the next property. The condo did it for me. Then when I built the house out west. The townhouse, they did it for me. Simple things like that. Allow your money to work for you. It will work for you if you allow it and you know where to put it. It will work for you. And so those are the simple things right there. And look, there is no get rich quick scheme unless you're going to go knock over a bank or something like that. Look,
I wouldn't advise that. That's a foul on the play.
That's definitely going to be suspended.
You're going to get ejected from the game. That's a
long-term suspension.
Yeah.
So simple things like that, man. Just think about that. You move into the house and you be patient for a year or 2 years. Let's say 2 years. And hey, man, let's say that condo now has $40,000 of equity, man. You sell that condo, now you can go get a bigger property, almost the same mortgage payment because you just put $30,000-$40,000 down or $20,000 down. Simple things like that. And that's what we're going to bring to the audience.
And fellas, I think when a lot of people, they think about these types of financial shows is that for us, I know the radio is really significant. I know you guys are doing some things on a terrestrial radio, and actually this show that you're developing right now is going to be broadcast on KFOI. It's an FM station out here in Las Vegas. So you had that terrestrial radio aspect, which financial shows, have always done phenomenal on terrestrial radio stations. It just works out so well because you're touching the community. And it's the community that's seeking the information from people like you. However, because the internet has become so prominent, because now that even terrestrial radio is broadcasting over the internet, you guys are going to have a 1-2 punch where you're going to be on traditional radio. So a person can turn on your show. It's going to be every Friday out in here in Las Vegas during drive time, 6 p.m. So people who are still tied into that terrestrial way of doing things traditionally, they're going to be able to listen to you there. However, because we're embracing technology and we know how many people are out there on social media and on the internet, I love the way that the two of you are blending both sides together, the old school way of being on traditional radio, but also there's so many opportunities to reach people now on the internet between social media, having a website, and your web presence. Would you, either one of you, like to speak to that?
Yeah, definitely. I like the fact that we're going out on all these social media platforms, the traditional radio, the internet. Those are powerful mediums to go out on. I just want to touch as many people as I can to help them with home ownership and finances, because it's great to have financial freedom. It's not so great to be financially strapped. So these in this day and age, the social media and the way that we can touch the masses, I just think that's a great, great way to go. You have any input on that, Tex?
Well, absolutely. And then and guys, the simple things that we're gonna give the community, man. If you really implement them, I mean, they really do work. All you have to do is just do it. We've already Tim and I have already made the mistakes. I've already made the mistakes in the finance, so I already know the do's and the don'ts. And I ain't gonna say everything, but I know a lot of the do's and the don'ts, what to do and what not to do. So we've made the mistake. So now you guys are getting a head start. So if you're that 25, 35, 40-year-old person, they don't know how to save or what to do, we're going to teach you how to create a budget for yourself and your household. So like my wife and I, when we walk in the house, we still have the little calendar truck sit out, and it's a little booklet that I got from I think Office Depot, and it'll say on their lunch, and I'll put down I don't know, $8, because I got the receipt, so I can still track every month where my money is going, what's going out, and what's coming in, and it tracks your income. Okay, how much for the first week, second week, third week did you make, and then I can track the income. Okay, now you can look at your debits and your credits, and you can see, okay, man, I got a surplus, but it looks like we're spending too much money I'm at the dry cleaners. So you'll be able to see all those things. We're going to make it simple for you, and this is the way you can win. Because look, you don't have to be making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year out there to win. Because I know Tim probably. I know I have. I sat down with people that make seven figures that's only got a couple of dollars in the bank. And then I sat down with some people that make $30,000, $40,000 a year that has $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in their savings account. So it's all about the discipline part, is where your priorities lie. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to help simplify you. Like I said, man, I was making 50 grand when I bought my first property, took the money out of my Roth IRA, $3,500, put the down payment, and it was all she wrote. And look at that one property just parlayed into other properties. So we're going to make it simple. We're going to help you get around the speed bumps, and we're going to drive it home, but you have to implement. Contact us too. Set up an appointment, contact us. And when you contact us, you be the decision maker. I'm the decision maker. I want to get this information now because I want to purchase a home in 6 months, or I want to start my retirement plan in the next year, whatever the case may be. Be the decision maker. Step up to the plate, because we are gonna hold you accountable too.
I have one more question that I'd like you both to answer, because you probably will have different perspectives on this. If there's one thing that you want the viewers or the listeners to take away from the Defenders of Finance show, what would that be? Let's start with you, Tim.
Yeah, the one thing I want them to take away is, we touched on a little bit here, Big Tex has touched on it, is that our experience is the best teacher. I've been through the ups and downs, so I know what to tell you, what to do and what not to do. And I want them to learn from our experiences. I want to share story after story of my ups and downs throughout my financial life. And Tex has already started sharing some of his. So I want the listeners to take away from our personal experiences, as well as our professional experience and knowledge and expertise, to put themselves in a better position.
How about you, Big Tex?
Just a recap of what he said, that's 100%. And most definitely, the information that we're going to be giving, please gobble that information up, write it down, soak it up, study it, and then put it to use. My biggest thing is put the information to use and watch and see what happens to your lives. Again, we've made the mistakes for you. We've already made the mistakes for you. And then we sat down with enough clients in different age brackets and income brackets that we're going to be able to help you navigate. So listen to what we say. We're not the end all be all, but listen to what we say. And I promise you, we'll get you to that touchdown a lot faster than we did.
That's right. And you guys are going to keep them in that sports mode. They're going to learn a lot. And I'm really looking forward to working together with the two of you in the development of the show. My company, Classic Communications, is involved in all the PR and marketing to help support the mission that I know these two men have to educate the world financially. And so Taryll Big Tex Robinson and Tim Haskins, they are the defenders of finance. Stay tuned. Their show is going to be taking the airwaves by storm in just a few weeks here. You're going to be seeing an incredible amount of presence of the Defenders of Finance show. They've got some incredible information that they want to share with you. And as both of them had talked about in different times in this interview, it's really about, of course, they are in business. They're all about making money, because if they can't show you that they can make money, how are they going to help you to make more and more money for yourself? So I always want to learn from people who are about financial success and can show the financial success, if that's what I'm seeking. But at the same time, both of these guys have big hearts that want to give back to the community and want to help people. And I think that that's the balance that is critical in order for you to get the most out of what it is that they're going to be sharing with you. And so thanks again, fellas, for stopping by. And I am really looking forward to promoting the Defenders of Finance show, both on terrestrial radio as well as through all these online platforms that we're going to be utilizing to get the word out about what you guys are doing.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Guy. Look forward to working with you.
Absolutely.
All right, stay tuned, everyone, for the Defenders of Finance show. There is social media already built on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn for the Defenders of Finance show. And then I want to make sure I get the website right. What is the website, Big Tex?
DefendersOfFinanceShow.com.
All right, so visit the DefendersOfFinanceShow.com for more information about Big Tex and Tim. If you want to set up a consultation, you can also go over there and do that. And again, we're going to be having all kinds of show updates along with all the social media platforms where you're going to be able to see pieces of the video. You're going to see full live streams of these shows. Again, the information will be there and available for all of you. But it's just like Tex said, it's up to you to implement. You've got the team around you. You've got two great coaches, and they're going to help you with that knowledge. But of course, ultimately, we're all responsible for making the right choices. But they're definitely going to give you the information that's going to help you to make some really strong financial choices. So thanks again for stopping by, fellas. And we appreciate all of you for tuning into the PR Connection show at prconnectionsradio.com. Our website for the station is in the process of being rebuilt. Within the next couple of days, we are relaunching our website. And I think you're all going to enjoy what you see. We're going to step our game up technology-wise to a much higher level. And we just want to provide more and more value for the different shows that we have on this network. So stay tuned for more updates about shows here at prconnectionsradio.com, the voice of new media. Take care of yourselves.